Alright everyone, good evening. It's currently 8 p.m. Central Time. My name's David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and you're listening to the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club Weekly Night Net. You can hear us here on the KA5D University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. More information about these repeaters, such as All-Star Link status, frequency, and tone information, along with other useful things to make sure... Along with other useful things, make sure to check out ka5d.com and November 5 OscarAlphaKilo.org, respectively. You can also find us on Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R or N5OAK-R. For All-Star, please use node 51444. Break. This is David, call sign November 5 Yankee Alpha November, and I'll be your net control for this evening. This is a controlled net, meaning stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment time. We will not be having any scheduled pauses for emergency traffic, but we will yield the air to any breaking emergency. With that in mind, please leave room between your check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic break. If you are having an emergency during this net, please say break, and we will pause the net and we'll try to help. The UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net is a social net with the purpose of getting a great group of radio operators together to share knowledge, discuss club activities, ask questions, and generally keep in touch. All hams are invited, both new and experienced. It's very easy to check into this net. In just a little bit, I'm going to ask for check-ins, and I will take down a list of all of you that wish to participate. Once we have everyone check in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give you the floor. Feel free to ask questions pertaining to amateur radio or any other interesting family-friendly subject. Feel free to tell us about something you've been working on or something along those lines. Once again, this is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net.
This is KI5PZN. Hey, David, thank you for running the net, man. And hello, everybody on the net as well. I've been busy with work and working over there at the nonprofit in North Austin. Just got home with me today after doing a bunch of construction work over there. We're able to do some framing work, even though that's not what I do for a living. But we were able to put a wall up and a door. So how about them apple? Then wanted to remind everybody, or just I guess announce to people that there is a contest this weekend. Is the 222 megahertz and up distance contest, and you can look more information up on the ARL website. 222 megahertz and up distance contest. And also a reminder, we have the Thursday night net tomorrow night and the Waterloo Ice House breakfast on Saturday, 8 a.m. So just, reminding people that there is fun to be had. And back to net control. This is KI5PZN.
Rad Ernesto, thanks you for all the club news from the N5OAK and Austin Amateur Radio Club. That's excellent. I might have to try my hand at the 222 and up net, depending on how my move goes. So yeah, that's awesome. Kudos on doing framing in the seat. I remember when I was a kid helping my dad with construction. It was always a killer working in the summer. So you're doing it for a good cause and doing it in the heat, no less. So props to you. With that, does anyone have questions for Ernesto, Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November? Please come now with your name and call sign.
Whiskey 5, Tango November Charlie, Thomas. Hey Ernesto, I saw something on the Discord about a taco net or something where you come over and host the net and eat tacos. Who supplies the tacos in that situation?
Hilarious, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, we're starting this net. It's the last Friday of the month from 7 to 9 p.m. And you guys invite yours truly to go to your QTH and run the net with you. I'll bring tacos. We'll talk about tacos. We'll have a shack tour and talk to people. So it should be a very fun and relaxed net. So yeah, it's a traveling taco net is what we call it so far.
Cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I might be interested in that.
Awesome, man. I'm talking to two people at the same time here. Awesome, man. Yeah, shoot me an email, and I'll put you on the list. The first one, Rusty grabbed the first spot, so we're going to go and crash Rusty's place at the end of August. But, we'd love to for you to sign up. We'll take the request, and we'll make a little list if we get a list. Of course, this is KI5PZN. Back to net.
That sounds good. W5TNC, back to you.
Awesome. I'm not sure if everyone listening is inside of or not inside, I guess, a member of the N5OAK Discord. The UT Amateur Radio Club and the N5OAK Amateur Radio Clubs are pretty close-knit, so if you'd like to check out their Discord server, you can find more information at n5oak.org. While you're there, you can also find more information about Ernesto's Taco Net. Sounds real fun. All right, moving down the list on our check-ins, we have Kilo Papa Tango November Foxtrot. Anything you'd like to share with the net? Come now, please.
Hey there, everybody. This is Johnny, KG5TNF, Kilo Golf 5 Tango November Foxtrot. I was started out listening to you on 441.325, and it stopped transmitting on that one. I guess you've already covered that. I'm just throwing that out there. where I'm at now, let me look. I'm on 441.775 now. Anywho, yeah, I was just going to say, where I work, I'm always chit-chatting with the security guard, and I want to ask him what frequency monitors. You know, I'm not going to do it because that would put him in a weird situation. But I did say today, what are you on, like 150 something frequency, and he acknowledged that. I looked it up online, but there's nothing really. There's Travis County you can monitor, and nothing really about security services, though. I would imagine he's connected to the police in some way or another, though, you know, if he needs to get some assistance. Anyway, stand by for a second. Yeah, anyway, I'm just out here in my shed looking forward to saying hello to everybody. Over here working on my little various projects. That's about all I got. Just wanted to say hello. Back to net, KG5TNF.
Why, thank you, Johnny. And I assume you were checking out Radio Reference. I absolutely love that website. And just in case you didn't know about it, you can get little radio dongles. It's called an SDR, software-defined radio. And the little RTL SDR things are under $30. And when I was a kid, I used to use those for monitoring communications all the time. And who knows, maybe it's on 150, it could be on 800 megahertz, 900 even, you never know. And yeah, sounds like fun. Glad you had a nice conversation with your coworker there. All right, this is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha November, net control operator for the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. And if anyone has questions for Johnny, come now with your name and call sign, and then we'll let you pass on questions to him. All right, nothing heard. We'll move on down the list to Cody, the one person I've ever met in my life who happens to share my birthday. His call is Kilo Indy 5, Lima Yankee Sierra. So, Cody, what's going on? Anything you'd like to share with the net?
Are you really a February 6th birthday guy, huh? I did not know that. This is Cat5WLS, Cody. Nothing really to share. Just thought that my plans that normally happen on Wednesday canceled tonight, and so I remembered, oh yeah, there's a net tonight that usually happens on Wednesdays. Why don't I try checking into it? So here I am. Don't know how this exactly works, how unlike the Thursday night net, but figured I'd check in. I did get a cool little opportunity tonight. I was live streaming, and I got to live stream with the developers of this new early access video game that's out. Let me read that real quick. So, the new developers of a video game that's coming out is called Zoran's Resistance. It's a lot of fun. It's like a team deathmatch kind of game, and but it's like instead of players, it's robots basically. It's really cool. And I'm actually top of the leaderboard above all the devs and stuff like that. And so I got to play with the devs tonight and stream it as well. So that was fun. Like I said, my normal Wednesday plans canceled because somebody got sick. And so now I'm here and talking to you guys and looking at my Pokemon Go while I listen to the net. Back to you.
Well, Cody, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, but I am, jokingly of course, angry that you forgot we had the same birthday. How could you? Anyways, canceled plans happen. Glad you normally have something going on Wednesdays, you know. Get out of the house and have some fun. But sometimes it's nice to kick back and tune into the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Anyways, I think you're answering the question, but for everyone else, what game was that? Did you say Borderlands? I couldn't... Oh, it's called Zoran's Resistance. Very neat. Alright, well, if anyone listening has questions or comments for Cody, please come now with your call sign and name, please.
Whiskey 5 Tango November Charlie, Thomas.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Hey, Cody, I was wondering if we could get a Chipotle update. Did you get a chance to try the pork carnitas yet?
I have. I actually have. And I was going to say this on Thursday Night Net, too. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it. It's not my go-to. However, I've been eating a lot of the chicken quesadilla lately, and oh my god, that's super good. But it's not too bad. They've got me only working on weekends right now, because I am going back to school for my GED. So there's that. But, other than that, not a whole lot's going on. Just, you know, doing the job on the weekends and stuff like that. I did forget to add, let me reset real quick. Chipotle's going good, but I forgot to mention that to Ernesto, who was talking about the taco net. How far does that taco net travel? Because, you know, y'all can come down to Colleen and kick back and do tacos, and I've got a fire pit, stuff like that. And then, so yeah, if not, I'm so jealous that I live here, because it makes me want to move to Austin with all the stuff y'all be doing, all the different cool nets and meetups that I can't go to because y'all are so far away.
I'm sorry that I led you astray. Now, the carnitas are my favorite. It's too bad you didn't like them. The taco beef is probably my second favorite. But cool. Sounds good. Good to chat with you. W5TNC, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Awesome. Well, yeah, sounds good. And I think I heard you said you were going back to school for your GED, Cody, and I just wanted to give you a hand for that. A lot of people just don't end up doing it, and I hope you stick with it. It's a smart move, and kudos to you, man. All right. I think it's been 10 minutes. I'm not sure. Just in case, my name's David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm your net control for tonight's net. Moving on down the list of check-ins, we've got Thomas, Whiskey 5, Tango November Charlie. Just chatted with Cody for a little bit. Anything else you'd like to share with the net?
I guess you guys have heard enough from me. Yeah, no, nothing much going on. I activated on the HF for the first time last weekend. They got a radio off the SwapNet that can go portable. So since I still haven't figured out like a permanent solution here, I just did like a remote or whatever you call it, portable operation in my backyard. It was a little called a buddy stick I got from Phil. He checked in earlier, short time. Yeah, that's all that's really going on. Yeah, back to net.
Awesome stuff. I hope you enjoy your buddy stick, and if you ever need help installing a permanent setup at your home shack, the N508K Discord server is always there for you. They got the volunteer channel and stuff, and everyone likes to help out. So good luck with your antenna, and if anyone has questions or comments for not Cody, my apologies, Thomas, please come now with your name and call. Okie dokie, nothing heard. Thanks for the check-in, Thomas. Now we are going to move on down to the last check-in for now. Kilo India 5, Kilo Alpha Tango. Is there anything you'd like to share with us today on the net? Real quick, Kilo India 5, Kilo Alpha Tango. I got you checked in, but I was wondering if you had anything you'd like to share with the net. If not, that's totally fine, and we'll go ahead and do another round of regular check-ins. Alrighty. Just in case you're tuning in just now, this is the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, hosted by the University of Texas Amateur Radio Club, call sign November 5 X-Ray Uniform. You can catch us here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system, although we are having trouble, funnily enough, linking with the N5XU system. I'm coming in on the Oak Hill 320 repeater. So, if you'd like to participate, you can find more information about these repeaters on the KA5D.com website and the N5OAK.com website. My name is David, call sign November 5 Yankee Alpha November, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. If you'd like to check into the net, please come now with your name and call sign slowly and phonetically, please.
November 5, Whiskey, Romeo Whiskey, Dwight. This is
KI5, SYX, Maria in East Austin.
Kilo Bravo 5, Mike, Papa Juliet, Jason and Buda.
Alright, awesome. So far, one second, break. Sorry, a spider crawled onto my arm. Alright, so far we have November 5, Whiskey Radio Whiskey, Dwight, Kilo India 5, X-Ray Yankee Zulu, Rhea, and I spelled that Romeo Echo Yankee Alpha. Hopefully that's correct. And lastly we have Kilo Bravo 5, Mike, Papa, Juliet, Jason. And if I made any mistakes, please come now. I got spooked by the spider, so apologies on my part.
This is November 8, India Juliet, Ignacio visiting, and I have a question for you, Jason.
Alright, we have November 8th, India Juliet, visiting Austin. Are you wanting to check into the net, or did you have a question? If you have a question, I'll just go ahead and answer it. No worries.
I would be very grateful for that. David, 2 months ago, I was at the airport leaving for Europe, and I cut the end of the UT Amateur Radio Club net, and you were talking about a gigahertz project you were working on, and I just happened to be in the market for buying a gigahertz oscilloscope. So not necessarily now on the net, but I would like to get any feedback, any information, if you could advise me. These oscilloscopes from $4,000 to $15,000, so obviously a lot of homework needs to be done. So if you've done it, I would appreciate any advice you could give me. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I believe you were talking about a gigahertz oscilloscope, and if I'm being honest, I don't really use a scope for my gigahertz work. Right now, I'm just using a low noise block down converter going into a spectrum analyzer, but if you want to get a scope, there are lots of companies that liquidate them, and you can usually find pretty nice oscilloscopes on the used market. that go up into the gigahertz plus range. So, yeah, if you're in the market for a really high bandwidth oscilloscope, there are definitely options. Yeah, feel free to chat with me after the net. I love home brewing and especially, metrology and electronic test equipment. So that's awesome. Anyways, thank you, November 8th, India Juliet. Nice talking with you, and I'll go ahead and actually, anything else before I move on with regular check-ins?
No, this is Ignacio, November 8th, India Juliet. That's all I had for now. Thank you very much, and hello to everyone. I hope to eventually meet some members of the amateur radio community here in the Austin area. I'm just visiting my son for now. But thank you. I'm leaving them at 73.
73s. Thank you, Ignacio. Okay. If anyone would like to check into the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, so regular check-ins, please come now with your name and call sign, slowly and phonetically, please. Make sure to say "this is" followed by a short space to prevent doubling.
This is Kilo India 5, Tango India Alpha Young, and I have a comment for Ignacio, if you'll allow that, please.
Go ahead, Young. Howdy, I believe you're in Mobile, Alabama, so yeah, go ahead.
Yep, in Mobile, calling in on Echolink. But Ignacio, if you're still on, I know that I think most RF work and gigahertz and whatever, I'm sure David could tell you more, but I believe a lot of it's done with just spectrum analyzers and various other RF equipment. But if you are interested in gigahertz range scopes, there's some older ones from the 80s that are reasonably capable. I've used HP, the Hewlett Packard, it's the 54,000 series, the digitizing oscilloscope, 2 gigahertz bandwidth, might be usable, and probably you could find it on eBay for a few hundred reasonably, but the main issue with them is their vertical resolution is very limited. It's 4 bits at the 2 gigahertz bandwidth, but I think it'd probably be adequate for RF work. So I want to take that into consideration. And this is KF5 TIA.
Young, thank you. Hopefully Ignacio was around to have you know about it. Never mind. Sorry. Okay. One last call for regular check-ins. Please come. Say "this is" followed by a short space to prevent doubling, and then come with your call sign and name, slowly and phonetically, please.
And hey, Jay, I'd like to respond if I may. Thank you.
Apologies on my part. Yeah, go ahead.
To that responser, thank you very much. That's great advice. I am familiar with those oscilloscopes. That's what I used to use in the lab when I was growing up in grad school. Now, obviously, the new ones are much fancier, but a lot more expensive too. So I want to talk to David about this project, and if he might be interested also. It's very advanced, using plasma antennas and distributed power distribution system, all powered up with an AI agent. So anyway, I will look into the HV one time. I was looking at the eBay. So thank you for your advice. I appreciate it. NAIJ, clear.
Okie dokie. One last final call for regular check-ins. I hope I didn't interrupt Young. Let me break really quickly.
Oh no interruption. Yeah. Hope the shift goes well, Ignacio. KF5 TIA, back to net.
All right. Okie dokie. So back to the flow of the regular net. This sort of thing doesn't really happen, but we had a visitor in town and it seemed only polite. Okie dokie. One last final call for regular check-ins, but real quick, my name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm the net control operator for the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Here tonight on the KA5D repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. I need to slow down talking. I don't know why I'm in a hurry. Okie dokie. One last call for regular check-ins. Please say this is, followed by a short break to check for doubling stations, and then come with your call sign and name, slowly and phonetically, please.
This is Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha, David.
This is K5JM, Kilo 5 Juliet Mike, Sam.
Okay, we had Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha and Kilo 5 Juliet Mike, Sam. Thank you for the check-ins, and we'll go ahead and go to the list. All right, first on the list, we have November 5, Whiskey Romeo Whiskey, Dwight. Anything you'd like to share with us here on the net tonight?
Not much going on here in Buda. This is Dwight, N5WRW. Just thought I'd turn the radio on and see if there was anything happening. Been working on an HF situation here and antenna and coax and so on. Get my HF back on the air. Other than cooking baby back ribs tonight for dinner, that's all that's going on here.
HF and baby back ribs. I couldn't think of a more excellent combination for a summer night. Any comments for Dwight, November 5, Whiskey Radio Whiskey? Come now with your name and call, please.
KG5 PKP Mobile, I have a question.
That was faster than I could write, but yeah, go ahead with your question.
What time supper? What time they gonna be ready? I'm hungry.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. It's one of my wife's favorites, and I've got a pellet grill, so it's not much labor involved either. N5WRW.
Joking. This is KG5 PKP Mobile. I couldn't help it. I just had to make a comment. I'll be standing by this.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm glad the baby back rib has made someone's mouth water, you know. Dwight, I think it goes to show the quality of your cooking right there. Okay, moving on, we had Kilo India 5, X-Ray Yankee Zulu, XYZ, I believe. Raya, please correct me if I'm pronouncing or spelling that wrong. And I recognize this call. It may be Ray's wife. I'm not sure. Apologies in advance. So if you have anything you'd like to share with the net, go ahead.
Hey, David, thanks for running the net tonight. This is Mireya, KI5SYX in East Austin. I wanted to check in tonight because I've been listening to you running the net, and you sound very smooth. So I wanted to give you a little bit of kudos because you sound very relaxed and like a very seasoned net controller. So I wanted to give you a little bit of congratulations because you are running a very good net tonight. So good for you. And so nothing, we've just been hanging out in East Austin, just making do with this terrible heat and working on construction with Ernesto. So that's what we've been up to. So just wanted to say hello to everybody and, again, congratulate you for running a very good net tonight. KI5 SYX.
Oh my goodness, the one person to congratulate me, and I mess up your call sign and name completely. Mireya, okay. The work you and Ernesto are doing with the construction sounds awesome, and kudos to you for doing it in the heat. That is brutal. Thank you very much, by the way, for the kind words. I really appreciate it. And, does anyone have comments for Mireya? Call sign Kilo India 5, X-Ray Yankee X-Ray. Please come now with your name and call sign. Okay, nothing heard, but real quickly, I just wanted to make sure I got the call sign correct. Was it Kilo India 5, X-Ray Yankee X-Ray?
Kilo India 5, Sierra Yankee X-Ray. Mireya, East Austin. Have a great night, David. Thanks for running the net.
Great, thanks, Mireya. I got you in the log with the corrected call sign. And now we'll go ahead and move on to Jason, but real quick for a station ID. My name is David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm the net controller for tonight's net. Anyways, with that, Jason, anything you'd like to share with us all on the radio tonight?
This is KB5MPJ. Not too much going on. Got on Southside Simplex last night, and that's always a good time on Tuesday nights. Did a little bit of HF over the weekend. Made a couple of Eastern Europe phone contacts at night, and made my first contact on 900 megahertz to another local ham. Got on one of the local repeaters and talked through that on 900 megahertz, and that's pretty much it. I haven't had too much time for radio, but been doing a little bit. KB5MPJ, back to net.
Sounds absolutely awesome, Jason. The DX and the first, I'm going to lose my ham credit card, not credit card, but ham license, figuratively, for forgetting if 900 megahertz is 23 it's 23 centimeters, it's not 33 centimeters. Anyways, congratulations on your first 900 megahertz contact. I recently got a 900 megahertz radio, and I haven't been able to hit all the repeaters nearby, and I'm thinking it's because of the antenna. What antenna are you running?
So I'm just using an HT with the rubber duck antenna, and I can hit the South Austin K5TRA repeater from inside my house. That's the only one that I can hit. I'm thinking about I think I almost got into the one at UT, the KA5D repeater. I broke the squelch, but then never got anything back and couldn't do it again, so I may just need to go closer in. So right now, just the rubber duck. If it does look like there's a good chance of me getting into KA5D from here, I might put up a Yagi. But right now, I'm just using that rubber duck.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just using a layered wireless connectivity systems. I don't know, some sort of corporate name antenna. They got bought out by TE Connectivity, so the naming is kind of strange, but it's a mobile stealth antenna, and I think the problem is that it needs a ground plane, and I'm just running it off a 5-inch or so piece of coax. So it's just an experimentation thing. I'll have to run it with a proper ground plane and put it on a magnet mount someday and see how that goes. But yeah, congratulations on working a 900 megahertz contact, and I'd love to hear you on that repeater someday. I just don't monitor it as much as I should. Anyways, does anyone listening in have a question or comment for Jason? Call sign Kilo Bravo 5 Mike Papa Juliet. Please come now with your name and call sign, please.
KI5PZN.
Go ahead, Ernesto.
Hey Jason, good to hear you on the net. I have a question for you because I have also a handheld 900 megahertz, and I usually have it on the Mount Larson repeater, which is also linked to a whole bunch of other repeaters all over the place. Is that one repeater that you can hit, the one on the Larson, Mount Larson, or is that out of range for you? Back to you.
So I think it may be. I was trying to figure that out today, but the thing is, so I don't have this radio is already programmed, and I don't have the software suite to program the code plugs or anything, so I can't really see what frequencies the channels correspond with. And I figured out which one is the KA5D. Basically just keyed it up and watched on an SDR and see where it ended up. But I didn't really want to key up on the one, because I don't have a dummy load for it. I didn't want to key it up and kerchunk the repeater and sit there, while I try to figure it out. So I may try to get a dummy load or something and key it up, because that's the only way that I'll be able to figure out which one's which, since I'm not the one that programmed it. So it's a little bit of a pain, but I'll figure it out.
I know, I totally get it. The one that I have, I also bought it. It was already programmed, and it doesn't show the frequency except for the simplex. Everything else just got the name of the repeater, or some of the frequencies just say South Austin or North Austin, and that one just says Larson, but I know what it is. So we can probably play around and see if we can hear each other one of these days. Just shoot me a text, and we'll get on the HT and see what repeaters we can talk to on 900. Back to you.
So I think all the K5TRA repeaters are linked. So even if we're not hitting the same repeater, we could probably still talk to each other, because I talked to Justin AI5OS that way. I know I was hitting a different repeater from him because he lives up off of 183 in Anderson Mill. So we were hitting repeaters in different parts of town, and we're able to talk. So I bet we could do it.
Very cool, man. Yeah, just hit me up whenever, and we'll try, man. It will be cool to see if, to get you on 900. That hasn't happened yet. We haven't had a QSO on 900. This is KI5PZN, back to net.
Okay, yeah, just holler at me whenever you want to do it. I've got the radio on right now. It's been quiet, all evening, so we could try it this evening if you wanted to.
Man, I'll ping you a little bit later after the net, and we'll try it out for sure. KI5PZN, back to net.
Yeah, Ernesto and Jason, I'll hook up my 900 megahertz rig to the power supply as well and hook up the antenna. I'd love to try and make a contact on there. Anyways, my name's David, call sign November 5, Yankee Alpha November, and I'm your net control operator for tonight's net. And our next check-in on the list is Young Kilo India 5 Tango India Alpha, the president of the of the UT Amateur Radio Club. Young, yeah, it's been a while. What are you up to? Anything you'd like to share with us tonight on the net?
Thanks, David, for running the net, and good evening to everyone. Hopefully y'all can hear me fine. Not much ham radio related. Actually, this net reminded me that I'm behind on my CW practice, so I'll probably do 20 minutes or so tonight and see if I can learn a couple more characters. But other than my sort of sporadic CW practice, not too much. I have this presentation that I have to do for work tomorrow that I haven't started on, so I'll probably do it tomorrow morning or something. Let me pause for a sec. Other than that, Just excited to go back to school, and if there are any other UTARC members listening, we'd love to have some volunteers for Gonda Engineering, which is on August 20th. I don't know if David, you already mentioned that, but yeah, well, hopefully we can have a nice little portable rig going and make some contacts. We'll see. Anyways, that's about it. This is KF5JA, back to net control. Thank you.
Thanks, Young, and I did forget to talk about our Gonda Engineering event, although there are a few more weeks left until it happens, so I'll make sure to keep mentioning it on the net. And, yeah, so if anyone has questions or comments for Young, Kilo India 5, Tango India Alpha, please come now with your name and call sign. Nothing heard, and we'll go ahead and move on to Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha. David, if you have anything you'd like to share with us on the net tonight, come forward. It's all yours.
Yeah, good evening, David, and thanks for running the net. You are doing a great job. So I'm listening to all this talk about 900 megahertz, and that reminds me that Justin, AI5OS, actually gave me a 900 megahertz HT as well. He kind of gave them to me and Jason by way of thanks for helping him out with fixing up his hex beam the other day. So it looks like he succeeded in stimulating some activity on 900 megahertz. I'll let this reset. Unfortunately, the one he gave me, he didn't have the charger for it. So I am digging around right now in my bin of junk trying to find a compatible connector, and I don't believe I have one. I might just jam some wires in here and see if I can get it to start charging. It also says 15 volts, and right now I've got like 14.1 on a battery. Maybe it'll be happy with that, maybe not. So you might hear me. If we're going to do a little impromptu 900 megahertz test session after the net, you guys might hear me, might not. We'll just have to see how that goes. This is David, Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha in North Austin. Back to net.
As someone who has been in that situation many a time, waiting or trying to find the right connector for the job, I highly recommend going on eBay, and I don't know what you'd search for, but they sell these little key rings almost, and it has a bunch of barrel plugs and all sorts of connectors on it to adapt one thing to another. They are great, although sometimes on radios you'll have a problem where, you know, one doesn't quite fit in the hole because the other barrel jacks on the ring will interfere with a knob or whatever, but other than that, I wish you the best of luck, and you know, maybe just put a resistor on that battery, because if it's like a lead acid or something, it can probably dump a significant amount of current into that radio, and I'd hate to see you accidentally blow it up, or depending on the type of battery, accidentally blow up the battery if you accidentally short it or something. But you know, I am sure you know what you're doing, and I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents into the ring. So, if anyone has questions or comments for David, whose call sign is Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha, please come now with your name and call. If nothing heard, we'll move on to our last check-in of the night. Sam, call sign Kilo 5 Juliet Mike. I think this is your first time checking in, so welcome. And yeah, if you have anything you'd like to share, come now. The floor is all for you.
This is K5JM Sam in South Austin. Hey, thanks for running the net. And yeah, I guess I have checked in, but maybe it's been a while since maybe before the official record keeping there. But the conversations and discussion topics there. And yeah, I'll throw in 2 things. One on the 900 side. That's great to hear there's some renewed interest there. And yeah, Tom, K5TRA, is a great local microwave evangelist, I guess you could say. He has a very interesting background. If you go to his website, Kilo 5 Tango Radio Alpha K5TRA. I think it's maybe .org or .net. You'll find it, but you can kind of find some information about 900 and microwave stuff. But to that point, I guess for Jason and Ernesto and everyone, yeah, usually around 9:30 at night, local time, somewhere around there, 9:30ish, 10, maybe it's a little sooner. There's usually like a round table. Seems like a regular group of people that get on there, and usually the discussion is fairly technical. But if you're looking to try to look at the SWR, what you're hearing or where, that's usually the time you might hear some regular activity. They don't really host nets or things, just more round table and rag-chew kind of discussion, but great group of people. And I have a 900 radio as well. I made mine into an all-star node, though, so I was just running as a simplex all-star node, and now I've actually converted the all-star node over to 220 megahertz and an additional 440 megahertz rig that are currently offline, but I'm going to get those going back here into this fall. I just need to redo the antenna stuff outside, and I'm not super motivated at the moment to go do all that. But, the first north wind that comes, maybe we'll get motivated. And then the second thing, from a radio perspective, that was really kind of renewed my interest in HF Digi modes is, and you can see this on the N50AK Discord if you're on there on the Digi, the Digi Ops channel. I tried JSA Call last night with a friend who's traveling, and it uses if you're not familiar with it, like FTA style protocol, but it allows you to do free-form messaging. So it really opened up a new window for me of interest of being able to use that, low signal floor kind of communications. And, it's a low bit rate, but you can actually have more rag-chew conversations. There's kind of like a WinLink style message forwarding thing you can kind of use. It's very interesting that it seemed to work really well with a friend using a very compromised antenna in a Walmart parking lot. The highest WR, like on 5 watts, and I was still hearing him in Austin here. So, it's kind of renewed my interest in that. And if you're not familiar with it, check it out. JS8 Call. Just look it up. You'll find it.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Sam. And just for anyone listening, if somehow you didn't find his website, it is Kilo 5 Tango Romeo Alpha.net. He has some great 900 megahertz resources. And I believe he's the one who programmed my Motorola radio before it landed in my hand. And your experience with JS8 Call is really interesting. I'm debating using it for a demo with the UT Club. Have a low-power SDR somewhere else on campus that's visible to the engineering students running JS8 Call and transmitting and all that. And then have a base station at the actual table and do communication that way. Because if you can make contacts around the world with 5 watts and compromised power, or compromised antenna and low power, and still be able to rag chew with a digital mode and not have to learn CW, I think that'd be very interesting to people at the Gaunt Engineering event. Break. So, thank you, Sam. And if anyone has questions for Sam, call sign K5JM. Please come now with your name and call sign.
KB5MPJ.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I also like JS8 Call. Used it a little bit. It's been a few weeks since I've done it, but I have gotten together with some local hams and done kind of roundtables on there, and suppose you can